It may be the most revolutionary invention of the last 50 years. Since their creation, microchips have evolved from simple circuits into electronic superbrains capable of performing over 1 trillion calculations per second. But creating these extraordinary miniaturized minds is one of the most complex tasks ever undertaken by human engineering. So how does a simple piece of silicon become a powerful microprocessor? Today, we're going inside a semiconductor factory to follow the incredible process behind the manufacture of millions of microchips. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover will change the way you look at every device you use. Right here on Stories Behind Everything. Modern microprocessors are built around structures so small they're invisible to the naked eye. Transistors. Each one functions like a microscopic switch, turning on and off billions of times per second to process information. The most advanced chips today pack tens of billions of these switches onto a surface smaller than a fingernail. That's why today they're found in virtually every device around us. Smartphones, computers, televisions, gaming consoles, and even our cars. In 1958, engineer Jack Kilby created the first integrated circuit, bringing together just a handful of components on a single piece of semiconductor material. That extraordinary progress follows a pattern predicted by Gordon Moore, known as Moore's Law, where the capacity of chips roughly doubles every 2 years. Every year, more than 1 trillion microchips are produced around the world. Most of them are invisible, operating silently inside practically every device we own. Each one is a marvel of miniaturized engineering. To put the scale in perspective, a single human hair can be more than 10,000 times thicker than one of these transistors. This futuristic-looking factory is responsible for producing the silicon wafers that form the foundation of virtually every modern microchip. These wafers are made from extremely pure quartz, an abundant material in nature, composed mainly of silicon dioxide. After a rigorous process of purification and crystallization, it's transformed into perfectly flat disks of monocrystalline silicon. The secret lies in silicon's properties. It's a semiconductor, meaning that depending on how it's treated, it can either conduct or block electrical current. That's what makes it the perfect substrate for the billions of tiny transistors needed to build a modern microprocessor. The challenge is that because those transistors are so incredibly small, the silicon wafer they're built on needs to be virtually perfect, free of impurities and defects at the atomic scale. It took decades of development to master the production of silicon with a near-perfect monocrystalline structure, where every atom is arranged in a continuous, uniform lattice. To manufacture these wafers, a large single silicon crystal is carefully pulled from highly purified molten silicon, a process known as crystal growth. It starts with polycrystalline silicon, heated to around 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit, until it becomes a glowing liquid inside a sealed furnace. The environment is filled with argon gas, an inert gas that prevents unwanted reactions and eliminates any trace of oxygen or contaminants. From that molten silicon, crystal growth begins. A tiny silicon seed crystal is dipped into the liquid and slowly pulled upward while rotating continuously inside a heated crucible. This process produces an enormous cylinder of monocrystalline silicon known as an ingot, which can weigh over 440 pounds and reach about 8 inches in diameter. The ingot then goes through a grinding process where its surface is carefully shaped with high-precision abrasive tools to ensure a perfectly uniform form. But at a scale this sensitive, even the smallest impurity can compromise the entire crystal structure. So it undergoes rigorous inspections, chemical analyses, and X-ray examinations before moving to the next stage, wafer slicing. The ingot is brought to a high-precision cutting machine where a web of ultra-thin wires coated with diamond particles slices the material into discs roughly 2/3 of a millimeter thick. These discs are the silicon wafers, the foundation for microchip manufacturing. After cutting, the surface still carries microscopic imperfections, so the wafers go through an advanced chemical-mechanical polishing process, working at the atomic level, that brings surface roughness below 0.1 nanometers and creates the mirror-flat surface essential for building circuits at the nanometer scale. Now perfectly smooth, the wafers are ready for the most important stage of all, circuit creation. Long before manufacturing begins, those circuits already exist in the digital world. Engineers use advanced software to design structures containing billions of transistors arranged with nanometric precision. Every detail is rigorously verified to ensure it meets all electrical and functional specifications. The wafers then travel in hermetically sealed containers, typically in batches of 25, through hundreds of extremely precise manufacturing steps. This is where the real challenge begins: building billions of transistors in a microscopic area. To put the scale in perspective, these transistors can be hundreds of times smaller than a human red blood cell. Producing structures that small requires levels of precision that push far beyond the limits of conventional engineering. To make it possible, one of the most advanced processes ever created by humanity comes into play: photolithography. With it, extraordinarily complex patterns are projected onto the wafer, allowing billions of transistors to be formed with nanometric precision, layer by layer. Before entering the machine, each wafer is coated with a thin layer of a light-sensitive material called photoresist, which reacts to light in much the same way as the film in an old camera. Because it's extremely sensitive to light, the entire process takes place in rooms lit only with yellow lighting, preventing ambient light from damaging the wafer. A high-precision ultraviolet light source shines through a mask containing the circuit design and projects that pattern onto the silicon wafer. Like a photograph, this creates an image of the circuit in the photoresist layer. During the development stage that follows, part of that material is removed, leaving the projected pattern defined on the surface. This process must be repeated many times, layer by layer, creating different levels of circuitry and leaving specific areas protected or exposed as needed. Transistors are built up gradually, level upon level, forming extraordinarily complex three-dimensional structures, like microscopic skyscrapers. The result is hundreds of microchips on a single wafer, each containing billions of perfectly integrated transistors. To reach even greater levels of precision, the industry had to solve what seemed like an impossible problem. Standard ultraviolet light simply couldn't project details small enough for the next generation of chips. The solution came from an unexpected direction: light so extreme it can't even travel through air. This is extreme ultraviolet light, known as EUV, with wavelengths of just 13.5 nanometers. Because EUV is absorbed by virtually every material, including air, the entire process must take place in a near-perfect vacuum. And because conventional lenses can't handle it either, extraordinarily precise mirrors are used instead, bouncing the light with near-total efficiency toward the wafer below. The machines that make this possible are considered some of the most complex ever built. Manufactured by Dutch company ASML, each unit contains more than 100,000 components and costs hundreds of millions of dollars. Inside, EUV light is generated by firing laser pulses at tiny tin droplets, creating a superheated plasma that emits the radiation. The result is the ability to draw circuits with atomic-level precision, making the world's most advanced chips possible. Without this technology, the smartphone in your pocket simply wouldn't exist. Working at this microscopic scale presents an enormous challenge for chip manufacturers. When a transistor measures just 1/10,000th of a millimeter, even the smallest dust particle can cause an electrical fault and render an entire chip useless. That's why the manufacturing environment must be extraordinarily controlled. Before entering the production area, workers put on full-body suits that prevent any particles from being released into the air. The entire process takes place in clean rooms, highly filtered spaces where the air can be thousands of times cleaner than a hospital operating room. Every worker passes through an air shower upon entry, blasting away invisible particles of dust and debris. The air inside the facility is continuously renewed, maintaining extreme purity levels essential for building structures at the nanometer scale. But even after photolithography, the chip still isn't finished. The patterns on the wafer now need to be brought to life. In the etching stage, unwanted material is removed with surgical precision, carving the circuit features into the silicon layer by layer. Then comes doping. Think of it as programming the silicon's personality. By inserting specific atoms into precise locations, engineers alter how each microscopic region conducts electricity, turning passive silicon into active, functional transistors. These steps are repeated dozens of times, refining and connecting each structure until complete, functional circuits are formed. With all layers finalized, it's time to separate the chips. The wafer is carefully cut into hundreds of small units known as dies, each containing a complete microprocessor. Each chip is then encapsulated in a protective housing that allows it to connect with the outside world and ensures its durability in daily use. Before leaving the factory, every chip undergoes rigorous quality testing, and only those that meet the highest standards make it to market. And that's how, from a simple piece of silicon, the microprocessors that power our computers, smartphones, cars, and virtually all the technology around us are born. A journey that begins in sand and ends at the heart of the digital world. If you enjoyed this episode, drop a like, share it with your friends, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.